shows, or a saucy puppet show. Let's go say that. It is the quintessential saucy puppet show.
This video was sponsored by Cioppettini, software for services. Learn more about what Cioppettini can do for your business and sign up for a free trial at cioppettini.com.
Hi, this is Frank with Electric City Entertainment. We're doing another Let's Read today. For you who are just joining us, Let's Read is kind of like a Let's Play for gaming, where you would watch someone game and there'd be commentary. This is much like that, but we're reading instead of gaming. Just as fun. Anyone you ask, they'll tell you. Just as fun to read as to play video games. I'm sure everybody can agree on that, 100%. Today we are doing something new and different. We are doing nursery rhymes. I've done some proper nursery rhymes before, just doing them as audiobooks, but today we're going to go over a nursery rhyme book from the 1800s. I think it's 1875 or 1876. It is appropriately named The Nursery Rhyme Book, so hopefully it's full of nursery rhyme books, or nursery rhymes. It is edited by Andrew Lang. I don't think it has someone who was the writer. I guess it's just a collection, so it might not have a writer. But we're going to go through this in proper ADHD fashion. I'll go through a couple. Hopefully I'll find some interesting ones. I have not pre-read this. I've skimmed maybe one or two, but we're going to discover this together. Hopefully we find some interesting things. I'm hoping we hit some that we're familiar with. I'm hoping we hit some weird, crazy, strange ones we might not have ever heard before. The book is about 200 pages long, so I'm not going through all of it. I'm just going to pick and choose the ones that I think are interesting. Hopefully they are. If you like this, please like and subscribe, help the channel grow, and let's get started. So, the nursery rhyme book from 18 whatever. We're going to skip the preface, and here we go. These look like nursery rhymes. Old King Cole, that sounds like one we should know. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers 3. Every fiddler he had a fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Twee twiddle-dee went the fiddlers. Oh, there's none so rare as can compare with King Cole and his fiddlers 3. That fiddlers 3 last line is a little bit weird. King Arthur. When good King Arthur ruled this land, he was a godly king. He stole 3 pecks of barley meal, I don't know what a peck is, to make a bag pudding. Also don't know what it is, but it's made of barley meal, so it doesn't sound so great. A bag pudding the king did make, and stuffed it well with plums, and in it put great lumps of fat, as big as my 2 thumbs. The king and queen did eat thereof, and noblemen beside, and what they could not eat that night, the queen next morning fried. Ooh, that sounds delicious, actually. Nothing like fried bread plum pudding? It works for them. It might work for me. We'll try that. We'll have to go to a cooking channel and see if they can make that one day. I had a little nut tree, nothing it would bear, but a silver nutmeg and a golden pear. Gotta get used to the timing. The king of Spain's daughter came to visit me. You must know some fancy people. And all was because of my little nut tree. I skipped over water, danced over sea, and all the birds in the air couldn't catch me. Why are you running away? What? That one is confusing. I have a tree. The king of Spain's daughter came, and I ran away. That one I'm not getting what it's about. You know, that's just things that happened, the nursery rhyme. This one's a nice short one. The king of France and 4,000 men, they drew their swords and put them up again. Okay. Another king of France. Very popular subject. The king of France went up the hill with 20,000 men. The king of France came down the hill and never went up again. Take that, France. I don't know if this was published in the US or if this was published in England, but who knows. A classic, one I wouldn't consider a nursery rhyme, but I guess it is a nursery rhyme. Please to remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. I know no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgot, for the V for Vendetta fans. It is different that they use please to remember instead of remember, but hey, differences. Over the water and over the sea, and over the water to Charlie. Charlie. Charlie loves good ale and wine, and Charlie loves good brandy, and Charlie loves a pretty girl as sweet as sugar candy. Over the water and over the sea, and over the water to Charlie. I'll have none of your nasty beef, nor I'll have none of your barley, but I'll have some of your very best flour to make a white cake for my Charlie. That's nice. I guess it's a love one for what you do for someone who you love named Charlie. Decent. As I was going by Charing Cross, I saw a black man upon a black horse. They told me it was King Charles the First. Oh dear, my heart was ready to burst. Take that, King Charles the First. Nothing like throwing shade on that King Charles. We have a new King Charles, don't we? Yeah. Not the first. Hi diddle... No, ding. I was expecting diddle. It is not hi diddle diddle. So all of you hi diddle diddle fans, you might have to wait. Hi diddle ding. Did you hear the bells ring? The Parliament soldiers are gone to the king. Some did they laugh, some did they cry to see the Parliament soldiers pass by. Interesting. I get that one's political, I guess. Hector Protector was dressed all in green. Hector Protector was sent to the queen. The queen did not like him, nor more did the king, so Hector Protector was sent back again. A lot... Rhyming again with queen, that is a big old no-no. I don't know if old-timey speak that actually rhymed better, but that is a horrible rhyme. Also, noticing already, lots of stories about people going somewhere and then just immediately coming back. Great. What is the rhyme for porringer? The king he had a daughter fair, and gave the Prince of Oranger. Trying really hard to make that rhyme. As I walked by myself and talked to myself, myself said unto me, Look to thyself and take care of thyself, for nobody cares for thee. Aw. I answered myself and said to myself, in the self-same repartee, Look to thyself or not look to thyself, the self-same thing will be, repartee, will be. That one seems interesting. I like that one. That one's underappreciated. Poor old Robinson Crusoe. Poor old Robinson Crusoe. They made him a coat of an old nanny goat. I wonder how they could do so, with a ring and a ting-tang, and a ring and a ting-tang. Poor old Robinson Crusoe. What? Okay, the second stanza just confused me. Why? That was the best they came up with. I would say poor person who wrote that nursery rhyme about Robinson Crusoe. Poor Robinson Crusoe for having that nursery rhyme written about him. That, I feel bad for him, more than the goat coat that he got. There was a monkey climbed up a tree. When he fell down, then fell down he. When he fell down, he fell down. There was a crow sat on a stone. When he was gone, there was known. There was an old wife did eat an apple. When she had eat two, she had eat a couple. We're stretching these rhymes a lot. There was a horse going to the mill. When he went on, he stood not still. This is like the Yogi, not even Yogi Berra. This is just repeating the things that are twice. There was a butcher cut his thumb. When it did bleed, then blood did come. There was this better be going somewhere. I'm going to be very angry if this is we're just going to say things several times. There was a lackey, ran a race. When he ran fast, he ran apace. Maybe we're just supposed to learn new words? I guess this is that. If you're teaching children, maybe they're just learning synonyms for things. There was a cobbler clouding shoon. When they were mended, they were done. Okay, I guess that means shun. It's S-H-O-O-N. And I don't know what clouding shoon is, or clouding shun, unless you want to pronounce done as dune. When they were done. I didn't learn anything from that. I just got confused. There was a chandler making candle, which apparently chandlers made candles. When he them strip, he did them handle. There was a navy went to Spain. When it returned, it came again. That one was just painful. That one was, we stretched all of our rhymes. We just repeated things that happened. No one learned anything. Jim and George were two great lords. They fought all in a churn. And when that Jim got George by the nose, then George began to gurn. Gurn. G-I-R-N. He began to gurn, which is a bad thing. See-saw, sack-a-day, Monmouth is a pretty boy. See-saw, sack-a-day, Monmouth is a P-R-E-T-I-E boy, pretty boy. Richmond is another. Grafton is my only joy. And why should I these three destroy to please a pious brother? Okay. These are apparently, there's a note here to explain this, because that was obviously a slightly confusing nursery rhyme. The boys are the sons of Charles II. The pious brother is James, Duke of York. Anyone who's an English history buff, please explain to me what the heck that means. It sounds very, very political and way over my head. I know nothing of any King Charles, Charles II. I know none of those things. This is all Greek to me. This is all British royalty to me. I do not know it. Now we are on to literal and scholastic. Great A, little A, bouncing B. The cat's in the cupboard and can't see me. That last line is familiar. The cat's in the cupboard and can't see me, but I didn't know great A, little a, bouncing B. I don't remember that part of any nursery rhyme. Ifs, and ands were pots and pans, there would be no need for tinkers. That one's like ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all go on a picnic, or whatever that one is. But that's ifs and ands were pots and pans, there would be no need for tinkers. I guess it works. Telltale tit, your tongue shall be... Oh, God! Okay. Tongue, tail, tit, your tongue shall be slit, and all the dogs in town shall have a little bit. This is under educational. I don't know what I'm supposed to learn. I guess don't stool. Or don't be a stool pigeon. I have no idea what that means. Very graphic. My favorite kind of nursery rhyme. Ones that are going to scar you for life because dogs are going to eat your tongue. Birch and... I'm glad I didn't skip this section, because that was a winner in my book for just how crazy it was. Birch and green holly, boys, birch and green holly. If you get beaten, boys, twill be your own folly. That one's long, I'm skipping it. Pat a cake, baker's man. So I will, master, as fast as I can. Pat it and prick it and mark it with a T. Put it in oven for Tommy and me. Put it in the oven. Classic. We should know that one. That sounds... I think that's the regular one. I don't know if you all had a different patty cake. It's pat a cake, not patty cake in this, but otherwise it sounds pretty similar. Multiplication is vexation, division is as bad. The rule of 3 doth puzzle me, and practice drives me mad. That one's a nice one for those studying math. Dr. Faustus was a good man, he whipped his scholars now and then. When he'd whipped them, he made them dance out of Scotland into France, out of France into Spain, and then he whipped them back again. I'm guessing that has to do with some historical battle, because that's over my head. A diller, a dollar, a 10 o'clock scholar, what makes you come so soon? You used to come at 10 o'clock, but now you come at noon. Maybe he's on antidepressants, I don't know. That happens to people sometimes, no shame. When V and I together meet, they make the number 6 complete. When I and V doth meet once more, then 'tis they two can make but 4. But when that V from I is gone, alas, poor I can make but 1. I'm assuming Roman numerals on that. Either that or it's something very strange, but that seems like that's a one about Roman numerals. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. February has 28 alone, and the rest have 31. Excepting leap year, that's the time when February's days are 29. I don't remember that one to begin with to remember dates, so I have no clue how close... That sounds different than the regular one that we say, but to me, I don't know. I know everybody hates February, that's why it has 28, so interesting fact, if y'all didn't know, the ancient Romans did not like February. I am with them. I don't like February. Heck with Valentine's Day. So they made it shorter because they hate it in proper Italian fashion. You hate a month so much, you shorten it to spite that month. If that's not one of the most Italian things I have ever heard, I don't know. Mistress Mary, usually this one's Mary, but Mistress Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With cockle shells and silver bells, all pretty maids all in a row. All pretty maids all in a row. Ba-ba-ba-da-da-da-do. In fir tar is, in oak none is, in mud eel is, in clay none is. Goat eat ivy, mare eat oats. That, once again, I feel like that was just things that probably is supposed to teach me something. It did not. Cross patch, draw the latch, sit by the fire and spin. Take a cup and drink it up, then call your neighbors in. Okay, sounds interesting. Things to do on an afternoon. I love my love with an A, because he's agreeable, capital A. I hate him because he's avaricious. I'm going to teach my children the word avaricious at a very young age. Why not? He took me to the sign of the acorn and treated me with apples. His name's Andrew, and he lives at Arlington. Once again, that's not really like a rhyme. This is like we said a whole bunch of things happened. There's not really rhyming that I can tell, and there's not really, whatchamacallit, syntax, candor, timbre, what is it, the way you say the syllables. It has none of that. It's just, these are things with an A, the kind of freestyle poem. Here we go. One that's better. This one, a classic that hopefully we shall remember. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, a good fat hen. 11, 12, who will delve? I do not know this part. 13, 14, maids a courting. 15, 16, maids a kissing. 1718, maids awaiting. 1920, my stomach's empty. Once again, a big stretch there, but I have not heard 11 through 20 on that. I've heard 9, 10, but good to know that there's a second stanza or second verse. We moved on from education, so no more learning about dogs eating tongues. Now we are moving on to tales. T-A-L-E-S, not T-A-I-L-S. The man in the moon came tumbling down, and he'd asked his way to Norwich. He was sent by the south, and burnt his mouth with supping cold peas porridge. I think that means peas like P-E-A-S, but it's spelled P-E-A-S-E, porridge. But anyway, that's the man in the moon. My dear, do you know how a long time ago 2 little poor children, whose names I do not know, were stolen away on a fine summer's day, and left in a wood, as I've heard people say? And when it was night, so sad was their plight, the sun it went down, and the moon gave no light. They sobbed, and they sighed, and they bitterly cried, and the poor little things, they lay down and died. Classic nursery rhymes. And when they were dead, the robin so red brought strawberry leaves, and over them spread. And all the day long they sung them this song, poor babes in the wood, poor babes in the wood, and don't you remember the babes in the wood? That to me is like the quintessential old-timey nursery rhyme, where it's, I'm gonna scare my children a little bit in a nice, pleasing, rhyming way. I hate to say it, I like those probably more than I should, but classic. We bring that one back. Bring back Dead Children in the Woods. There was a crooked man, and he went a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence against a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. I haven't heard that one in a long time. There we go. Simple Simon met a pieman going to the fair. Says Simple Simon to the pieman, let me taste your ware. Says the pieman to Simple Simon, show me first your penny. Says Simple Simon to the pieman, indeed I have not any. Simple Simon went a-fishing to catch to catch a whale. All the water he had got was in his mother's pail. I don't know that last part. I don't know about Simple Simon fishing. I knew about the not having money for the pies, but I didn't know he went fishing afterwards. I'll tell you a story about Jack and Nori, and now my story's begun. I'll tell you another about Jack his brother, and now my story's done. Okay, that's interesting, a little cute one. I guess you have to read into it a whole lot. There's a picture of Simple Simon. I don't need that. There was a man, and he had naught, and robbers came to rob him. He crept up to the chimney pot, and then they thought they had him. Okay, there's more to that. But he got down to the other side, and then they could not find him. He ran 14 miles in 15 days, and he never looked behind him. That's a very slow pace. 14 miles in 15 days. I'm not fast, and I can run a mile in 10 minutes, which is horrible, or at least like a brisk walk, because I'm lazy and I do not like running. That seems incredibly short, but I guess it's maybe just to remember the rhyme, and maybe kids don't know distances. The Lion and the Unicorn. Everybody knows the story of the Lion and the Unicorn. This is a classic. If you guys haven't heard this one, I don't know what your childhood was like. It must have been rough, because I remember everyone growing up with the Lion and the Unicorn nursery rhyme. The lion and the unicorn were fighting for the crown. The lion beat the unicorn all around about the town. Some gave them white bread, and some gave them brown. Some gave them plum cake, and sent them out of town. So that brings back so many memories of my mother sitting with me and talking to me about the lion and the unicorn. There was a fat man of Bombay, who was smoking one sunshiny day, when a bird called a snipe flew away with his pipe, which vexed the fat man of Bombay. I'm glad I guessed that was a limerick, because just starting was, there was a fat man of Bombay. I go, this is probably a limerick, and I was right. Good for me. Tom, the piper's son, stole a pig, and he ran, and away he run. The pig was eat, and Tom was beat, and Tom went roaring down the street. Did he just eat a living pig? Like, I'm assuming he cooked the pig, but maybe Tom was just really, really hungry and decided to eat this living pig while running with it. I think that would be crazy. Brian O'Lynn and his wife and wife's mother, they all went over to a bridge together. The bridge was broken, and they all fell in. What? Look for bridges. The bridge should be clearly broken if you just fallen from the bridge. The deuce go with all, quoth Brian O'Lynn. The deuce. We got to start using the deuce more often. This might be, I think, the second time we've said the deuce or something about the deuce in this series. I don't know. I might be wrong. People who are fans, let me know. There was a little man, and he had a little gun, and his bullets were made of Lead, lead, lead? There's a picture here that says lead, 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 but there's not actually the line. So I'm assuming his bullets were made of lead, lead, lead. He went to the brook, and he saw a little duck, and he shot it right through the head. Wonderful imagery for nursery rhymes. He carried it home to his wife Joan, and he bid her a fire for to make, to roast the little duck he had shot in the brook, and he'd go and fetch her the drake. Very sweet. I guess killing a duck and bringing it home was more common and not disagreeable for children. 3 wise men of Gotham went to sea in a bowl, and if the bowl had been stronger, my song would have been longer. That was a letdown. I was super excited by Gotham. Gotham doesn't rhyme with bowl, and stronger does rhyme with longer, but what the heck? Hey, another doctor. Dr. Foster went to Gloucester in a shower of rain. He stepped in a puddle up to his middle, and never went there again. You don't step in puddles twice. It's not going to happen. If I go to Gloucester, step in a puddle, done. Not going to Gloucester again. Robin the Bobbin, the big-bellied Ben, he ate more meat than 80 men. He ate a cow, he ate a calf, he ate a butcher and a half. He ate a church, he ate a steeple, he ate the priest and all the people. A cow and a calf and an ox and a half, a church and a steeple and all the good people. And yet he complained that his stomach wasn't full. I like at the end we just go like, we're not rhyming anymore. We're just going to matter of fact it. We're going to Drake this. We're just going to be like, end of nursery rhyme, drop the mic, move on to next nursery rhyme. I like that. Wish they fixed the ending. Robin and Richard were 2 pretty men. They laid in bed till the clock struck 10. Then up starts Robin and looks at the sky. Oh, brother Richard, the sun's very high. The bull's in the barn threshing the corn. The cock's in the dunghill blowing his horn. The cat's at the fire frying the fish. The dog's in the pantry breaking his dish. Things that happened. Old Mother Goose. There we go. This should be classic. Old Mother Goose, when she wanted to wander, would ride through the air on a very fine gander. It's painful, these rhymes. Mother Goose had a house that was built in a wood. There was where an owl at the door for sentinel stood. Good rhyme, good job, we're redeeming ourselves. This is her son Jack, a plain-looking lad. He is not very good, nor yet very bad. She sent him to market, a live goose he bought. Here, mother, says he, it will not go for naught. Jack's goose and her gander grew very fond. They'd both eat together or swim in one pond. Jack found one morning, as I have been told, his goose had laid him an egg of pure gold. Jack rode to his mother to the news for to tell. She'd call him a good boy and said it was well. Jack sold his gold egg. Nursery rhymes. What are we doing? Jack sold his gold egg to a rogue of a Jew who cheated him out of the half of his due. Then usually when I see things that are racist, I'm not sure should I say them or not. That one clearly is racist / discriminatory against religions, whether you consider Judaism a race or religion or both or whichever. Bad, stereotypical. I did not know that was in Mother Goose. That's a new one for me. Then Jack went a-courting a lady so gay, as fair as the lily and sweet as the May. The Jew and the squire came behind his back, and began to belabor the sides of poor Jack. The old Mother Goose that instant came in, and turned her son Jack into famed harlequin. Then she with her wand touched the lady so fine, and turned her at once into sweet Columbine. I don't know what sweet Columbine is. C is capitalized, so I'm assuming that maybe is a person in plays, because harlequin is usually a play character, I'm guessing. I'm guessing Columbine is maybe the love interest of Harlequin? Random guess by me. People who know old-timey theater, let me know if Columbine is the love interest of Harlequin and that makes sense, or if I'm way out of left field and that means something completely different. The gold egg into the sea was thrown then, and Jack jumped in and got the egg back again. The Jew got the goose which he vowed he would kill, resolving at once his pockets to fill. Jack's mother came in and caught the goose soon, and mounting its back, flew up to the moon. Flow up to the moon, not flew. Flow up to the moon. I did not know. Is that the actual Mother Goose story? Because if so, we need to stop naming nursery rhymes about Mother Goose. That one's not. I don't like cancel culture, but that's a bit much. Old Abram Brown is dead and gone. You'll never see him more. He used to wear a long brown coat that buttoned down before. It rhymes, but also confusing what that buttoned down before meant. I guess because he doesn't button it down because he's dead. Also very weird. He's dead. Brown's dead. No one apparently cares. He had a coat. Interesting things about Brown. My lady wind, went round about the house to find a chink to get her foot in. She tried the keyhole in the door, she tried the crevice in the floor, and drove the chimney soot in. And then one night when it was dark, she blew up such a tiny spark that all the house was pothered. Pothered. From it she raised up such a flame as flamed away to Belting Lane, and Whitecross folks were smothered. And thus, when once, my little dears, a whisper reaches itching ears, the same will come, you'll find. Take my advice, restrain the tongue, remember what old nurse has sung of busy Lady Wind. That is a cautionary tale. I think that one is kind of appropriate, because it's, watch out, wind is going to set your embers on fire and burn down the house, which is probably, in the 1800s and earlier, big old concern. Punch and Judy. People who are not familiar with Punch and Judy or a Punch and Judy show, look it up. I'm not going to go into it from an aside, but Punch and Judy has kind of a very interesting history if you've never read about it. Punch and Judy fought for a pie. Punch gave Judy a sad blow on the eye. That is Punch and Judy in a nutshell. They fight. Punch hits things. There's comedy. It's children puppetry for those, or a saucy puppet show. Let's go say that. It is the quintessential saucy puppet show. Taffy was a Welshman. Taffy was a thief. Taffy came to my house and stole a piece of beef. I went to Taffy's house. Taffy was not at home. Taffy came to my house and stole a marrow bone. I went to Taffy's house. Taffy was not in. Taffy came to my house and stole a silver pin. I went to Taffy's house. Taffy was in bed. I took a poker and flung it at his head. They've got relationship issues. Like, Taffy, you shouldn't be friends with Taffy. They're bringing out the worst out of you. Little Tommy Tittlemouse lived in a little house. He caught fishes in other men's ditches. That's it. I was expecting more, but that one just ends. Tommy Tittlemouse caught fishes in other men's ditches. It doesn't say whether you should or not. I'm guessing you shouldn't catch fishes in other ditches, but I don't know. I don't know if it's moral or not to catch other men's ditch fish. Other men's ditch fish. Little Jack Horner sat in a corner eating a Christmas pie. We should know this one. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I." That one has not changed at all. Solomon Grundy. I do not know this one. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, christened on Tuesday, married on Wednesday, took ill on Thursday, worse on Friday, died on Saturday, buried on Sunday. This is the end of Solomon Grundy. Once again, I don't know why I'm expecting a lot from these. I expect something to be, oh my god, I've gained something from this. Solomon Grundy seems very boring and lived a short life. Proverbs. To make your candles last for, you wives and maids give earo. To put them out's the only way, says honest John Boldero. Good advice. Don't light candles if you don't want them to burn. Who would have guessed? St. Swithin's Day. Is St. Swithin's Day a thing? If anybody is a fan of Simpsons, I believe Bart in one thing where he's making up something, he goes, "Is it St. Swithin's Day already?" I always thought they made up St. Swithin's Day. I'm guessing St. Swithin's Day, now that we see it in an 1800s text, is an actual thing. Maybe British. If someone knows what St. Swithin's Day is, I would love to hear so in the comments. I got no clue. I'm not looking it up. I'm in the middle of a video. St. Swithin's Day, if thou dost reign, for 40 days it will remain. St. Swithin's Day, if thou be fair, for 40 days 'twill rain ma ne'er. I don't even know what those words, they rhyme. Na mer, N-A-M-A-I-R. 'Twill rain na mer. I guess no more is what that means, but I guess they prefer to rhyme to making sense. Na mer. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. If turnips were watches, I would wear one by my side. That's like the ifs and buts one again. I don't like that one as much as ifs and buts. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. I like the if wishes were horses part. I don't like the if turnips were watches part. Nature requires 5. Custom gives 7. Laziness takes 9. And wickedness 11. That is, there's a little side in terms of hours of sleep. So that's maybe of how you're spending your time. That reminds me of Ben Franklin or fun little things. See a pin and pick it up. All the day you'll have good luck. See a pin and let it lay. Bad luck you'll have all the day. Didn't know the second half of that. I knew the see a pin, pick it up part, but I didn't know the second half. But then again, most people can't go more than, like a couple lines in a nursery rhyme. Needles and pins, needles and pins. When a man marries, his trouble begins. Controversial. I won't comment. I won't say whether I agree or disagree with that. Probably not true for everybody. Bounce buckum, velvet's dear. Christmas comes but once a year. I don't know what bounce buckram means, so that confuses the rest of it, and I'm not sure what that means, but Christmas comes but once a year. Very true. A man of words and not of deeds is like a garden full of weeds, and when the weeds begin to grow, it's like a garden full of snow, and when the garden begins to fall, it's like a bird upon the wall, and when the bird away does fly, it's like an eagle in the sky, and when the sky begins to roar, it's like a lion at the door, and when the door begins to crack, it's like a stick across your back, and when your back begins to smart, it's like a penknife in your heart, and when your heart begins to bleed, you're dead and dead and dead indeed. I like that one. I mean, once again, morbid, but, I like those ones. I've never heard that one, but I like it. It's got lots of information in it, lots of things you could reflect on and learn about. If you sneeze on a Monday, you sneeze for danger. Sneeze on a Tuesday, kiss a stranger. Sneeze on a Wednesday, sneeze for a letter. Sneeze on a Thursday, something better. Sneeze on a Friday, sneeze for sorrow. Sneeze on a Saturday, see your sweetheart tomorrow. Nothing about sneezing on a Sunday. If someone sneezes, I will give you one whole virtual dollar. I'll give you one shroot buck if you give them that whole nursery rhyme when they sneeze. Love to see their reaction. Be like, oh, you sneezed on a Wednesday. You sneezed for a letter. When the wind is in the east, 'tis neither good for man nor beast. When the wind is in the north, the skillful fisher goes first forth. When the wind is in the south, it blows the bait in fish's mouth. When the wind is in the west, then 'tis at the very best. Very useful if your children are going to be fishermen. He that would thrive must rise at 5. He that hath thriven may lie till 7. He that by the plough would thrive himself must either hold or drive. Okay. Hey, swarm of bees. A swarm of bees in May is worth a load of hay. A swarm of bees in June is worth a silver spoon. A swarm of bees in July is not worth a fly. Is not worth a fly. For any of you who stalk me, you know that we did a little bit of beekeeping. We had a channel called Bees React, not doing a shout out. It was an interesting comedy channel. But that is a very true and interesting beekeeping fact. If you get a swarm at certain times, it has to do with when they're actually producing a lot of honey. If you're already getting it in July, the honey season is done. You're not going to get a lot of honey from them. They're just kind of getting ready for winter. They're not going to produce a lot. You're already past a lot of the pollen counts. So that one's a very interesting and useful one, especially for those who have apiaries or into beekeeping. Yo mustn't sing a Sunday because it is a sin, but yo may sing a Monday till Sunday comes again, spelled C-U-M-S. Original spelling. A sunshiny shower won't last half an hour. Which is true. A lot of people call that what? When a devil is beating his wife? Or there's some other names for that, like just a regular sun shower. They don't last long. Very true. For every evil under the sun, there is a remedy or there is none. If there be one, try and find it. If there be none, never mind it. That one's also a good one. I like that one. That one's useful. The art of good driving's a paradox quite, though custom has proved it so long. If you go to the left, you're sure to go right. If you go to the right, you go wrong. That one confuses me. Because I'm reading, I can't think about them a lot. I don't want to think about that one a lot, because it's probably just going to confuse me more. I've got more reading to do. Let's move on. As the days lengthen, so the storms strengthen. I hope that's true. I guess that is true, because fall is probably when most hurricanes happen. So, okay, factual, I hope. Meteorologists, please let me know. The fair maid who, the 1st of May, goes to the fields at break of day, and washes in dew from the hawthorn tree, will ever after handsome be. I like maids who work in the fields early. That's always a positive. I'm going to put that on one of my dating profiles. Hey, what month about do you go into the fields? Is it June, or are you kind of more of a May girl? And then if they go I'm a May girl, I'm be into those DMs. Friday night's dream on the Saturday told is sure to come true, be it never so old. That ain't true. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Classic. I always thought that was Franklin. Actually, no, well, how old was Franklin? Benjamin Franklin was, what, 1700? So maybe that was from Benjamin Franklin, because I'm losing my history. This is way after Franklin, so there could be things from Poor Richard or other things from there. Is that actually from Franklin, or did he just repeat that? I don't know. Not looking it up. Sorry, people. If you want some education, you're going to get a little bit, but you're going to be left wanting. Like, I will not make a sexual reference. We're trying to keep this family friendly. Make your own inappropriate joke there. Monday's bairn is fair of face. Tuesday's bairn, it's B-A-I-R-N. I'm guessing it means barn, but I don't know. Tuesday's bairn is full of grace. Wednesday's bairn is full of woe. Thursday's bairn has far to go. Friday's barn is loving and giving. Saturday's barn works hard for its living. But the barn that is born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe and good and gay. Bairn is B-A-I-R-N. I don't think it means barn, because that doesn't make any sense. I don't think it means barren. Not sure. Things I'm going to look up and then not tell y'all. You guys look it up as well. We will all learn something and do more work than is necessary. For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of the shoe, the horse was lost. For want of the horse, the rider was lost. For want of the rider, the battle was lost. For want of the battle, the kingdom was lost. And all from the want of a horseshoe nail. That one I kind of remember, not exactly like that, but a good lesson. It's a good thing to teach kids. March winds and April showers bring forth May flowers. That one is very different than the ones we're used to. Songs. Are these full songs? No. I don't know how songs are going to be different than nursery rhymes, because these are definitely not long enough. Well, that one might be long enough to be a song. But then again, without music, how much of a song is it? I guess maybe you just know the music from memory or from hearing it from your parents. One misty, moisty morning. I've never heard moisty, but if people hate moist, they're gonna hate moisty. Even worse. One moisty morning, when cloudy was the weather, there I met an old man, clothed all in leather, with cap under his chin. How do you do, and how do you do, and how do you do again? The fox and his wife, they had a great strife. They never ate mustard in all their whole life. They ate their meat without fork or knife, and loved to be picking a bone. E-ho. Oh, I guess we just end, and love to be picking a bone, e-ho. Once again, if you don't know the song or the background of it, it's really hard to know, like, the timing, and that was definitely a throw me for a loop. And love to be picking a bone, e-ho. The fox jumped up on a moonlit night, and the stars they were shining, and all things bright. Oh ho, said the fox, it's a very fine night for me to go through. Oh no, it's changing. Weird. I'm already confused. I wish I've heard this already, because then I'd know how the timing goes. But reading it, it's just like, how is this supposed to be said? For me to go through the town, e-ho. The fox, when he came to yonder stile, he lifted his lungs and he listened a while. Oh ho, said the fox, it's but a short mile from this unto yonder wee town, e-ho. When fox, when he came to the farmer's gate, when should he see but the farmer's drake? I love you well for the master's sake, and long be picking your bone, e-ho. How long is this one? Oh my god. I'm skipping this one. This is just weird, confusing. It hurts my brain. It angers me. I'm done. We're going past that one. This one already sounds sad, but I can't say no. My father, he died. Great start to any song. My father, he died, but I can't tell you how. He left me 6 horses to drive in my plow. With my wing, wang, waddle, oh, Jack sing, saddle, oh, blousy boys, bubble, oh, under the broom. I'm going to get hurt so much mentally by these. I don't know. I guess that's how you're supposed to say it. I still have no idea. I sold my... We'll keep trying on this one. I'm not going to give up on this one yet. I sold my 6 horses and I bought me a cow. I'd fain have made a fortune, but did not know how. With my etc. I sold my cow and I bought me a calf. I'd fain have made a fortune, but lost the best half. With my etc. I sold my calf and bought me a cat. Pretty thing was she in my chimney corner sat, and with my... Oh, maybe it's you're supposed to... and with my wang whittle, oh. Okay, so I'm guessing that means I'm supposed to repeat, with my wang whittle, oh, Jack sing saddle ho, blousy boys bubble oh, under the broom. I'm not doing that, because that is a horrible thing, and to have to repeat that after each one of these,
The two lines are good enough. I don't need Jack Sing Saddle Ho. We're not doing Jack Sing Saddle Ho. That's no. There we go. I sold my cat and bought me a mouse. He carried fire in his tail and burnt down my house. That's it. We didn't need the Jack Saddle Ho or whatever that part was. That was just no. Says told man tilt oak tree. I said that right. Young and lusty was I when kinned thee. I was young and lusty, I was fair and clear. Young and lusty was I mony a lang year. But sir failed am I, sir failed now. Sir failed am I, sen I kinned thou. Sen I kinned thou? I'm assuming it's because when he had children, KENN''D. I kinned, which I think means kinned, like I made you kin, like I made you child, because he is a lusty old man. Glad that one's dead and gone. That one should stay dead and gone. Polly, put the kettle on. Polly, put the kettle on. Polly, put the kettle on, and let's drink tea. Suki, take it off again. Suki, take it off again. Suki, take it off again. They're all gone away. There we go. This one, a classic. Let me know if you've remembered this one. Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and can't tell where to find them. Leave them alone and they'll come home and bring their tails behind them. Little Bo Peep fell fast asleep and dreamt she heard them bleating. When she awoke she found it a joke, for they were still a-fleeting. Then up she took her little crook, determined to find them. She found them indeed, but made her heart bleed, for they left all their tails behind them. I think that's how it goes. It's been a long time since I've talked about Little Bo Peep. We're getting to the classics. We can see why some of these clearly died off, mostly because violent, confusing, not rhyming, and we can see the good ones, most of them survived. Sing a song of sixpence, a bag full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Was not that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in his counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlor, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes. There came a little blackbird, and snapped off her nose. I forgot how that one ended, but that one, everybody should still know that one. Johnny shall have a new bonnet, and Johnny shall go to the fair, and Johnny shall have a blue ribbon to tie up his bonny brown hair. And why may not I love Johnny, and why may not Johnny love me, and why may not I love Johnny as well as another body? That one is too short and doesn't rhyme with Johnny. And here's a leg for a stocking, and here is a leg for a shoe, and he has a kiss for his daddy, and two for his mammy, I trow. True? It's spelled T-R-O-W, but it has to rhyme with shoe. And you don't say it show. I true. For two for his mammy, I true. Maybe it means true like T-R-U-E, but it's spelled T-R-O-W. And why may I not love Johnny? And why may not Johnny love me? And why may not I love Johnny as well as another body? That one's weird. That one's very weird, and they need to do something with as well as another body. There has to be a rhyme for Johnny, as that rhymes. That means with somebody else or with something. That to me is like, you worked a little bit harder. You could have made this work. Elsie Marley's grown so fine, she won't get up to serve the swine, but lies in bed till 8 or 9, and surely she does take her time. When do you ken Elsie Marley, honey? The wife who sells the barley, honey. She won't get up to serve her swine, and do you know ken Else Marley, honey? That one's confusing. Tom, he was a piper's son. He learned to play when he was young, but all the tunes that he could play was over the hills and far away. Over the hills and a great way off, the wind will blow my top knot off. Now Tom with his pipe made such a noise that he pleased both the girls and the boys, and they stopped to hear him play over the hills and far away. Tom with his pipe did play with such skill that those who heard him could never keep still. Whenever they heard, they began to dance. Even pigs on their hind legs would after him prance. As Dolly was milking her cow one day, Tom took out his pipe and began for to play. So Doll and the cow danced the Cheshire round, till the pail was broke and the milk ran the ground. He met old Dame Trot with a basket of eggs. He used his pipe and she used her legs. She danced about till the eggs were all broke. She began for to fret, but he laughed at the joke. He saw a cross fellow was beating an ass. heavy laden with pots, pans, dishes, and glass. He took out his pipe and he played them a tune, and the jackass's load was lightened full soon. I am not going to make any jokes about anything that was said in that. I am not. Want to. Not going to. London Bridge is broken down. Dance over, my Lady Lee. London Bridge is broken down with a gay lady. How shall we build it up again? Dance over, my Lady Lee. How shall we build it up again with a gay lady? Build it up with silver and gold. Dance over, my Lady Lee. Build it up with silver and gold with a gay lady. Oh, I don't like that rhyme, but you're using it a lot. Silver and gold will be stole away. I'm going to skip that way. Oh my God, this is terrible. Silver and gold will be stole away. Dance over, my Lady Lee. Silver and gold will be stole away. Blah, blah, blah. Build it up with iron and steel. Build it up with iron. I'm going through this quick because I'm not saying dance over, my Lady Lee 12 times. Iron and steel will bend and bow. Iron and steel will bend and bow. Build it up with wood and clay. Build it up with wood and clay. Wood and clay will wash away. Wood and clay will wash away. Build it up with stone so strong. Huzzah, 'twill last for ages long. Oh my God, they need an editor to just go and go, no, this Lady Lee, gay lady, I don't like it. I don't know if you guys like that. That rhyme, it's harsh, it hurts, and there's no reason to put it for every stanza, every single one. Another one about sixpence. I don't know, but this is different than the other sixpence one. I love sixpence, pretty little sixpence. I love sixpence better than my life. I spent a penny of it, I spent another, and took fourpence home to my wife. Oh, my little fourpence, pretty little fourpence, I love fourpence better than my life. I spent a penny of it, I spent another, and took twopence home to my wife. Oh, my little twopence, my pretty little twopence, I love twopence better than my life. I spent a penny of it, I spent another, and took nothing home to my wife. Oh, my little nothing, my pretty little nothing, what will nothing buy for my wife? I have nothing, I spend nothing, I love nothing better than my wife. I think that's sweet. I'm not sure if that's sweet or not. The north wind doth blow, and we shall have snow. And what will poor Robin do then, poor thing? He'll sit in a barn, and to keep himself warm, will hide his head under his wing, poor thing. That's it. It reminds me of, not Edward Scissorhands. The one with the barber, and he kills a bunch of people. Got the same guy. This is my knowledge of pop culture. Sweeney Todd. There we go. I was going to say Edward Sweeney Hands. Not Edward Sweeney Hands. That reminds me of Sweeney Todd, where they go, poor thing, poor thing. But it wasn't about a robin in the cold. I don't even remember what it was about, but it was about a poor thing. Reminds me of that. Unrelated. Anyway, a carrion crow sat on an oak, full-de-riddle, lull-de-riddle, high-ding-do. Watching a tailor shape his cloak, sing hi-ho the carrion crow, full-de-riddle, lull-de-riddle, high-ding-do. I don't think we've said a lot, but also very little. Wife, bring me my old bent bow, full-de-riddle, low-de-riddle, high-ding-do, that I may shoot yon carrion crow, sing hi-ho the carrion crow, full-de-riddle, low-de-riddle, high-ding-do. The tailor he shot and missed his mark, full-de-riddle, low-de-riddle. I hate when they do this. They need to stop doing this with, especially ones that are not good. It's like if a song has a bad chorus, but they still want to do the chorus a lot. You're just like, oh, give me bridge, give me something else. I do not want more chorus. Chorus is not your strong suit. The tailor he shot and missed his mark, full-de-riddle, low-de-riddle, high-ding-do, and shot his own sow quite through the heart, sing hi-ho the carrion crow, full-de-riddle, low-de-riddle, high-ding-do. Wife, bring brandy in a spoon, full-de-riddle, low-de-riddle, high-ding-do, for our old sow is in a swoon, sing hi-ho the carrion crow, full-de-riddle, low-de-riddle, high-ding-do. Everyone learns a very important story about trying to shoot carrion crows when they are in the vicinity of your sow. Don't do it. People do it because they haven't heard that nursery rhyme, and then I just go, if you didn't know the hidey-diddle, hidey-diddle, blah, 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 you would have known not to shoot that crow and hit your sow. Some of these are painful. I apologize. I'm trying to be entertaining, as best I can. Merry are the bells, and merry would they ring. Merry was myself, and merry could I sing. With a merry ding-dong, happy, gay, and free. And a merry sing-song, happy let us be. Waddle goes your gait, and hollow are your hose. Hollow are your hose. Noddle goes your plate, and purple is your nose. Merry is your sing-song, happy, gay, and free. With a merry ding-dong, happy let us be. Merry have we met, and merry have we been. Merry let us part, and merry meet again. With our merry sing-song, happy, gay, and free. And a merry ding-dong, happy let us be. I read that. I've got no clue what that one's about, because I wasn't paying attention. It's about happy and singing. That's all I got from it. One we should know. Hot cross buns, and I know how it goes. Hot cross... now I'm all off because I put a line in it. Hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny. Hot cross buns, hot cross buns. If ye have no daughters, give them to your sons. I don't remember that part. I think knowing how the song goes in this section probably helps a lot, because I think if I just read Hot Cross Buns and have never heard the timing of how Hot Cross Buns is, I'd probably be just as confused. 3 blind mice, see how they run. They all ran after the farmer's wife, who cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did you ever see such fools in your life? 3 blind mice. I forgot how 3 blind mice goes, so I just read that. I don't think I was close. You shall have an apple. You shall have a plum. You shall have a rattle basket when your dad comes home. I guess they didn't... I was hoping it was rhyming with plum, but no, it's you're just like... Okay, in context, I guess this is telling a child, like, your father's coming home and bringing you these things, but this is also under songs. So I'm expecting, like, rhyme or, something to be like a song. That just threw me for a loop. Okay, this is like a Frog and Kitty. Frog and Kitty is a known one, I think, because that seems familiar to me. There was a frog lived in a well, kitty alone, kitty alone. There was a frog lived in a well, kitty alone and I. There was a frog lived in a well, and a farce mouse in a mill. Cock me carry, kitty alone and I. The frog he would a wooing ride, kitty alone. Okay, you gotta do the kitty. This is when they're doing the etc. I don't know this one. This is different than what I thought it was going to be. Fancy me. This is like Frog and Kitty falling in love, I think. I'm skipping it. You can read it. I'll put the link in the description. But that one's confusing me too much. I do not have the mental energy because we're pretty far in this video. Where are you going, my pretty maid? I'm going a-milking, sir, she said. May I go with you, my pretty maid? You're kindly welcome, sir, she said. What is your father, my pretty maid? My father's a farmer, sir, she said. Say, will you marry me, my pretty maid? Yes, if you please, kind sir, she said. What is your Oh, man, all of them is maid and said. What is your fortune, my pretty maid? My face is my fortune, sir, she said. Then I can't marry you, my pretty maid. Nobody asked you, sir, she said. That one, once again, we're putting that in the list of ones that need to just be gone, because that's just bad. There was a jolly miller, lived on the river Dee. He worked and sung from morn till night, no lark so blithe as he. And this the burden of his song forever used to be. A jump Jeremy G. I care for nobody, no, not I, since nobody cares for me. That one's bittersweet. That one doesn't get thrown away. If I'd as much money as I could spend, I never would cry old chairs to mend, old chairs to mend, old chairs to mend. I would cry old chairs to mend. If I'd as much money as I could tell, I would never cry old clothes to sell, old clothes to sell, old clothes to sell. I would never cry old clothes to sell. Oh, I guess like peddling your things. Okay, that makes sense. I'm once again guessing if I had money, I wouldn't have to go out and cry all these things. I wouldn't have to work doing these things. My maid Mary, she minds her dairy, while I go a-hoeing and a-mowing each morn. Merrily run the reel and the little spinning wheel, while I am a-singing and mowing my corn. Oh, it rhymes with morn. Okay, that one does rhyme. I just didn't know it was supposed to rhyme with morn. Up at Piccadilly, oh, the coachman takes his stand, and when he meets a pretty girl, he takes her by the hand. Whip away for ever, oh, drive away so clever, oh, all the way to Bristol, oh, he drives her four in hand. I don't know what that one means. Jacky, come, give me thy fiddle, if ever thou mean to thrive. Nay, I'll not give my fiddle any man alive. If I should give my fiddle, they'll think that I'm gone mad, for many a joyful day my fiddle and I have had. Not bad. I'll sing you a song, though not very long, yet I think it is as pretty as any. Put your hand in your purse, and you'll never be worse, and give the poor singer a penny. That's a good peddling song. Skipping, because I am so far not a big fan of the songs, because most of them I don't know how they're supposed to be sang, and even if I do, many of them seem weird. This is Wee Willie Winkie, so that one is one we should know. Wee Willie Winkie runs through the town, upstairs and downstairs, in his nightgown, rapping at the window, crying through the lock. Are the children in their beds? For now it's 8 o'clock. I don't remember much about Wee Willie Winkie, but I remember Wee Willie Winkie exists, so that's as familiar as I am with Wee Willie Winkie. When little Fred was called to bed, he always acted right. He kissed Mamma and then Papa and wished them all good night. He made no noise like naughty boys, but gently went upstairs. Directly went when he was sent, and always said his prayers. That to me is a quintessential good nursery rhyme. It is teaching children what to do, giving an example of what a good boy does. It rhymes and makes sense. Solid nursery rhyme. I'm not going to give it an A, but I would say like that is like what you should judge. If the nursery rhyme is not better than Little Fred going to bed, it's probably not a keeper. Riddles and paradoxes, which children love paradoxes. I went to the wood and got it. I sat me down and looked at it. The more I looked at it, the less I liked it, and I brought it home because I couldn't help it. Okay, that is a riddle about a thorn. I'm not listening enough to these, so I'm not going to get these. Hickamore, hackamore, on the king's kitchen door, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't drive hickamore, hackamore. Ah, I was expecting that to rhyme with men. Couldn't drive hickamore, hackamore, off the king's kitchen door. Okay, that's the answer to that is sunshine. Well, okay, something is on the king's... That's a weird... It's like, oh, something's on the kitchen door that people can't get off. And it's like, I had no idea what that could be. Soft as silk, as white as milk, as bitter as gall, a thick wall, and a green coat covers me all. That is a walnut. These are not good riddles. Do not tell these riddles to other people. They will be angry. They will be confused. They will no longer be friends with you. Because these are painful. I'm skipping through these. I know we're getting on a bit long here. Let's try and find one or two more good ones and then call it a day. Because, you know, if we go forever on this, I'm just going to tell you a whole bunch of terrible things that you probably don't want to listen to. Humpty Dumpty sate on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Oh, this is still under riddles. 80 men and 80 more cannot place Humpty Dumpty as he was before. 80 more couldn't put him back. They've changed it from what we're used to. This is a riddle, and the answer is an egg. Once again, terrible riddles. I'm scrolling through riddles because I'm all for weird things or strange things or even sometimes bad things if they're interesting. These aren't bad interesting. These are just painful bad. There's charms and lullabies. I'm not going to say no. Why not? Come, butter, come. Come, butter, come. Peter stands at the gate, waiting for a buttered cake. Come, butter, come. I don't want to end on come, butter, come. We can do better than come, butter, come. How about this? We'll end with a classic. We will end with one that is very sweet. Hush-a-bye, baby. Hush-a-bye, baby. Oh my, I'm not going to sing it. I already apologized for that first part. Hush-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby, bough, cradle, and all. That was it for today. If you watched to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love the watch time. If you'd like, please like and subscribe. It helps our channel grow. Send this to people who might like it. Let me know, did you like these? Should we do more than this? There's a lot of old nursery rhyme books. We might copy the same ones, but there's lots of ones that we've never heard, lots of interesting takes on things. So maybe you learned something, maybe you laughed. Hopefully you enjoyed it. But that will be it for this. Please join us for the next episode where hopefully we will have something else that we will read together that is fun, interesting, maybe, hopefully even more interesting than this. Thank you again, and goodbye.